Think60 is the only online program designed specifically for adult learners at levels 3 through 9. Since it is web-based, students and teachers can use Think60 with any device, laptop, desktop computer, smartphone, or tablet from any location as long as it has an internet connection. Think60 is easy to use in any learning situation: full class, small group, one-on-one tutoring, and independent learning. This video shows you how Think60 is being used by students and teachers in adult ed programs across the country. Think60 is best when it is used to enhance, expand, and augment the instruction in the adult ed classroom. Why? Because the original content presents relevant and timely topics that are meaningful and motivational. Your adult students will not be insulted by having to read juvenile content that was originally created for kids. Adding to your students' motivation is being able to work with Think60 using technology with any device: desktop computers in a computer lab, laptops at their desk, tablets in the lounge, or on their smartphones at home. Let's start with a small group of 4 students: Darius Wilson, Lauren Tanaka, Nicole Morabito, and Pablo Renteria. They are working with their instructor, Eli Jensen. Based on their TABE scores, these students are reading at level 6. Eli logs into Think60, and then he clicks on View Lessons. He clicks on level 6 and then Reading. Eli wants to work on one lesson with the group during today's session. He remembers that Lauren mentioned that her son came home from school one day talking about bullying. Eli believes that the cyberbullying lesson will interest the group. As he previews the lesson, Eli plans to work on the vocabulary first. He sees that the before reading question could prompt a lively and healthy discussion among his students. So Eli decides to assign this lesson to the 4 students and work on it during the course of the next week. When the students come to class the next evening, Eli asks them to log into Think60 with their unique username and password. There are only 2 laptops available, which are being used by Darius and Lauren since they are the first to arrive. Eli asks Pablo and Nicole to log in using their phone. Then he directs them to click on the cyberbullying lesson on the dashboard. They read the introduction and then work through the vocabulary together. Eli has the students select the answer and then discuss each word meaning. He reminds them that they will be coming across these words in the passage they're about to read. Next, Eli asks the group the before reading questions about bullying. They are designed to tap into the students' prior knowledge and life experience to better prepare them for reading the passage. He has the students type in their responses and then has a brief discussion. The pre-reading activities have prepared the students to begin reading the passage. Eli asks the students to read the first page silently. When they are finished, he has them read the next page. He asks recall questions about each page before moving on. Once the students finish part 1, they work on the active reading questions together. Eli points out that if they don't know the answer, they should click on the hint button. The hint button highlights the paragraph that includes the answer. Once the students have typed their answers, they move on to the next question as they complete part 1. In part 2, Eli reads page 1 and then has each student read a page out loud. This group has been working together for a while, so they're comfortable reading aloud to each other. After each student reads a page, he asks them questions to test their comprehension. After the students finish reading aloud, they work through the active reading questions independently. Once the students have finished, Eli goes over their responses to each of the questions to make sure they understand what they just read. Then he has them read part 3 and answer the active reading questions independently for the remainder of the session. The next session for this group is in 3 days, so he assigns the after reading activities, multiple choice, short answer, sentence completions, and writing sentences for homework. Eli reminded them that they can log in from home using their Think60 username and password. He mentioned that he will periodically check in on their work over the next couple of days and offer feedback if necessary. The next morning, Eli logs in to check on his students' progress. Nicole is furthest along, so he checks on her work first. When Eli comes to the third short answer question, he sees Nicole only included 4 reasons and the question asked for 6. So Eli sent her a note asking her to add 2 more reasons. On the 5th short answer question, she made an error with grammar, so he suggests that Nicole work on the grammar lesson he will assign just to her. Eli clicks on View Lessons, then Language Arts. He assigns the lesson Subject-Verb Agreement, the Basics, to Nicole, which she will see on her dashboard the next time she logs in. He reviews the other students' work in this manner. When the group reconvenes, Eli reviews the passage with the students and praises them for completing the homework assignment. He asks the students to click on Comprehension Skill in the Progress panel and then on page 1. He asks the students to read the paragraph about drawing conclusions and then has each student provide an example. He works with the students on the questions on pages 2 and 3 as a group. He reminds them to click on the Passage button to see the passage without having to navigate away from the page. Then Eli asks the students to do the last 2 questions independently. When they're finished, Eli then discusses the short essay question about alerting a child's parent that the child is a cyberbully. He asks the group to write the email independently and think about how they would approach a friend about this serious problem. He reminds them to support the email with facts from the passage and that he alone will read their responses. Eli plans on reading their responses later on and responding to each student individually. Eli tells the group that he will be assigning individual lessons for the students to work on for the rest of the class and then at home. During the next class, he will have each student talk about the passage they read with the group. Eli goes into the lesson library to assign the lessons to the students. Pablo is looking for a job, so he clicks on Workplace under Topics and assigns him Devon and the job interview. Nicole is a little anxious about the first conference with her son's teacher, so he assigns the lesson Parent-Guardian-Teacher Conference under the topic Friends and Family. Lauren likes adventure stories, so he assigns Found Money Chapter 1 to her. He knows Darius really likes baseball, so he looks under Sports and assigns Setting an Example to him. Eli appreciates and is thankful that by using Think60, he has found a way to motivate and engage his adult students. He knows that this will result in his lower level students having a much better chance in sticking with the program and ultimately meeting their educational goals.